So, I got a lot of things on my mind.
Yeah, I can't wait to. I feel like you're ready. I feel like you're locked and loaded, so we're good.
I got a lot of things on my mind, but the first thing I want to talk about is your sermon last night.
Oh,
Yeah,
So
fire.
are we recording?
Yes.
Oh shoot! Welcome to Beyond the Letter.
yo,
What's going on?
Yo, we have Sammy in the building. We got H in the building. We got Andy over there. Is that Alizé?
Alizé.
Okay, we got Alex. What's good? What's good? Hey, I want to talk about your sermon last night.
All right, let's do it.
And I'm kind of like because I'm scheduled to preach next Wednesday.
Right.
And I don't want to anymore. Because H kicked it off.
Right.
Where, you know what made me laugh about H's sermon?
What's that?
He was like, "Hey family," I think I told you.
Yeah.
Hey, who was the first battle that the Israelites fought against? And the audience was like, he was like, "The Amalekites, idiots." Read your Bible.
Read the word.
But I mean, H, expository king.
Yeah, for
Just,
sure, 100%.
Just boom, 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 boom. Pastor Diego last week.
Fire.
Crushed it.
Fire.
Then you come.
Hey.
You coming with the military
Had to
illustration.
had to do it.
Who? I don't know. You include the lead pastor in your first illustration?
That's the first.
Yeah.
That's the first.
Had to do it. Had to bring it out. Had to bring it out.
You had the scroll.
Had to scroll.
Now here's what I want to know.
Okay, talk to me.
Did the scroll actually have scripture inside of it?
It had nothing in it. Yeah. Because it was open to interpretation of the promise that God was going to give each person. Can I get an amen?
Yeah.
How'd that feel for you last night?
It felt good. I mean, I was talking to my wife afterwards, and then
Yeah.
obviously everyone was super gracious in their words and encouragement. It felt, super space natural. Like that's how it felt. Like I think I was, in a lot of what I've done in other areas of ministry, because I've been in 18 years full-time ministry, speaking, communicating, preaching. I've led a lot of those teams, so that feels good for me.
Yeah.
But then I feel like this space, like it felt really fun as far as up there on the stage with Patriot. I feel like everyone was leaning in. It felt like people were just hungry and ready to receive the word. Because you go to some place, every place is it's so fun and honoring to preach somewhere, but there are rooms where you got to like pull teeth. Like in that room, it just felt like everyone was excited, leaning in. You could say like, "Happy birthday," and everyone was like, "Thank you, Jesus." So it felt fun. And then I had to, you guys are the kings of illustration, so I had to, you had a whole blender up there. So I was like, okay, I got to do something. And then the flax was there. I did some research, and that blew my mind as far as what flax is. And I'm like, it's so fun. I feel like when you read the word, you have a lot of those Easter eggs or those little things. If you dig deeper, like it has deeper meaning. So it was fun.
So we're sharing Joshua 2. So he took the first half. I'm taking the second half. He was like, "Man, it's so exciting for you, man, because I'm gonna kick it off, and then you got so much to do next week." He took all the meat off the bone.
Yeah.
You got it. You got them running. You got
Because the second half is goes into Rahab's story, right?
Second half is like.
Let's look it up. I gotta look. I didn't even read it.
Well, are you sure?
I promise.
The scriptures you gave yesterday. Second half is more of like how she negotiated with her family and for her family to be dealt kindly and so forth. So,
Oh, that's dope.
What I appreciate about his sermon was he was quoting theologians.
Yeah.
From the 2nd century, the 6th. I'm like,
Jerome.
Yeah.
Jerome says,
Yeah.
look at the poetry. A, B, C, C, A, B, A.
I was like, do I add this? I was like, I have to, especially because we're doing Bible teaching. I'm like, just show them like what is in you, dig in the text. And then the cool thing about these scholars, we know, the theologians, man, they break it down. They studied it for years. Yeah. So they break it down in a new way where like, I didn't think of it like that. So
Yeah.
It was fun though. Honored you guys have me up there.
Good, bro.
It was fun.
It was fire.
Yeah.
Hey, for me,
Tell me.
first day of the fast being over. The fast is over.
Yes.
The fast is over.
Thank you, Lord.
So I'm gonna still have a fasted lifestyle.
Amen.
But today I had an orange. I did. Oh, you know what?
What was your
I did,
fast?
Oh, yeah. So let me give some interpretation.
I said, I don't get it.
I
Okay,
did.
amazing.
Yeah, I was like, that was wild.
Orange Crush? Is this in line with the
No,
sermon?
I did the exact opposite. So my wife and I have been doing the Daniel fast for the last 13 years. Mm-hmm. My wife is a great cook, so she can make Daniel fast meals feel like, oh, we're not even fasting. Mm-hmm. So we said, let's try something like more like challenging that we haven't done to sacrifice.
Right.
So we tried a carnivore diet.
Okay.
Oh,
So it was like the opposite. So for the past 21 days, for me, it was just meat, cheese, eggs.
Straight protein.
That's it.
Yeah.
Meat, cheese, eggs.
Mm-hmm.
Meat, cheese, eggs. Mm-hmm. So today we had those oranges and those cuties in the chapel.
Mm-hmm.
I was like,
Yeah.
I was just like,
because you couldn't do any fruit.
no fruit.
Yeah, that's hard.
No sugar,
That's-
nothing.
No sugar,
That's hard
no
on the carb.
bread,
Not even
no
juice.
beans, no juice, nothing.
Wow.
So I can have tea.
Mm-hmm.
And then I had Topo Chicos.
Oh,
in
Topo
water.
Chicos are great. Yeah.
Yeah. And then I would put like electrolytes in my water.
What would you say? What day? Because, you know, when you do a fast, it's like day 3 is hard or day
Yeah.
7 is hard.
Yeah.
Would you say there was a day in that 21
Day 1
day?
through 21.
Yeah, he said it was.
No, seriously, I started really enjoying how I felt, right?
You felt different.
Yeah, but then, you know how I love running?
Oh, you had no energy.
I would hit a wall.
Mm-hmm.
So like, oh, today I'm going to go run 8 miles.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be on mile 3, and I'm
Yep.
ready to die. I'm ready to go home because my body wasn't like burning like carbs.
Mm-hmm.
It was like there's just no carbs to pull from. So that was crazy. So that was probably like at least the first 10 days of like workouts were terrible for me. And then H is sending us pictures and let's get it. Let's go hard. Let's go hard.
Okay,
Go hard.
all right. Oh, it's funny.
I try to lock in and just go. Yeah,
Yeah. So how's that been for you?
it's been well. You know, I've been trying to do 2-a-day workouts. So
Really?
Crazy.
The fast I did was kind of different too. It
Okay.
was more so. One of the hardest things I struggle with is fast food.
Okay.
So I cut out fast food and
Okay.
cut out sugar, like sweets, you know, chocolate and stuff like that. And so, yeah, very hard. But doing 2-a-days is very difficult. Morning workout and night workout.
Dang. So tell me about like what you do in the morning, what you doing, like is you following the routine? Or-
Yeah, so got 2 coaches. One is for weight loss and one is for muscle mass.
Wait a minute.
I know he's going in. He told me already about this. It's crazy. It's crazy.
So one helps me with losing weight. So my goal is to lose 20 pounds.
Let's go.
I'm down 11. So
Dang, look at
I'm
this
already
guy. Look
halfway
at this
there,
guy.
yeah.
Look at this guy.
and I'm trying to gain muscle mass after that. So
Oh shoot.
just lifting weights. So at nighttime, I try to lift weights, legs, shoulders, body, you know, chest.
And is it more
Back.
cardio in the morning or what?
Yeah, more HIIT training, more cardio, more
Okay.
running, more sets of you know, treadmill or mountain climbers or stuff like that. You know,
Yeah.
like regular HIIT training.
Nice.
Yeah,
Sammy,
so-
you work out or what?
I do. I got my gym at LA Fitness,
Okay.
and then we're trying to get pretty soon a Peloton, because especially having 2 kids,
Yeah.
having a 2-year-old, 2.5-year-old, and then a little 3-4-month-old, and then Chandler. I think we've talked about it, my wife. She loves to run.
Yeah.
And so she's she's postpartum 3 months since having the baby, so cleared for exercise, all that stuff. So she loves running and exercising. So just getting creative with babies at home to do that, but as much as possible. But what's funny is we had a little, thing that we were doing with a bunch of the homies, right? Working out. But I pulled out and I told people, I said, listen, I would love to, but this is about muscle mass.
When he started sending his pictures.
Listen,
and
it ain't even about that. It's this. Check this out. My mom is a certified personal trainer, joint specialist,
Really?
nutritionist, all that. Yeah.
Okay.
So you got 2 different types of body types. We all know this, but type A is more, you're skinny and it's hard to gain muscle and it's also hard to gain weight. Metabolism's fast, all that stuff. Type B is you could gain weight really quick, so you could get fat really quick, but you could also put on muscle mass really quick.
Okay.
And so if we're just doing strictly muscle mass, I'm out of there because I try, especially, it's my metabolism slowed down more recently, but I couldn't gain weight till I was like 30 something. And now, now at 35, my body's like, hold on. Especially when I moved to Texas. That's when I moved to Houston for a little bit.
So that
I was like,
barbecue, man.
I could actually gain some weight. So cut back, all that stuff. But yeah, so I wouldn't be, I would still donate to the winner. I'm okay with that. But to make me get muscle mass, I'm going to try. But I don't know if I got to take what Pastor Stephen Furtick's taking, because he was skinny and now he bulked up. But maybe that's, as I plant the church, maybe as the senior pastor anointing comes on me.
That's what's going to happen, yeah.
That's what I think. So, but yeah.
Oh my God. So I thought I couldn't gain weight either.
Mm-hmm.
So like when I met Erica, we probably weighed the same, right? And she was like, "Bro, like, how are we?" Right? But then once I got married, I started putting on weight. Like Erica could cook.
Yeah.
I remember like one of our first Christmas, she bought me a watch, and then like from here to here was like no different, just lanky. So she bought me a watch, and it just went all the way to my shoulder. Like, what time is it? I'll be like, all the way there. That was like that, and that was the moment I was like, I gotta do something.
Yeah, I got to
about
do something.
this.
Yeah, I got to do something. Yeah.
But yeah, I try to like lock in like more like push-ups, pull-ups,
Yeah.
dips,
Yeah.
stuff I could do in my garage.
Yeah, for sure.
I love the Peloton, bro.
Yeah, do you have one?
So I got the bike and
And-
I have the tread.
Yeah, okay. And do you have the mirror too?
No.
Okay, yeah.
There's a Peloton mirror.
I don't know if it's a mirror.
Are you talking
but
about the tonal?
Maybe tonal. Maybe it's connected with
Yes.
tonal. Because I know that. But I know I've heard people that have both. They enjoy both. But if you could only get one, they say get the bike first.
bike.
That's what people say. But
Really?
Yeah. What do you think?
If Chandler loves running,
Yeah.
running is the Peloton is amazing.
For sure.
The screen is huge. I love the auto incline feature. So like you could do like these challenges and these classes. So like you don't even know what's next in the hit training.
Yeah.
So like, okay, hey, take it to incline 7.
Yeah.
And then it just automatically goes to incline 7. Oh, look, customer service.
Do you want some
we
water?
go. Yeah.
Can I get one more water
bless
too?
him.
One more?
Yeah. How did he get the Red Bull?
Because I requested.
You
Do
sent a
want one? Do
text?
you want
No,
one?
I'm good. I'm just. No, it's this from your sermon last night. Oh, let's give the man of God.
Thank you,
Still
Lord.
your honorarium package
Thank you, Jesus.
carry over.
Thank you, Lord. God is good. So which one? So you think? But which one do
You
you
saying
like
the
the
treadmill.
most? You like?
The treadmill, bro.
Yeah.
The treadmill.
Thank you.
Get the treadmill.
Yeah.
No,
Look
no,
at
I'm
that.
good. I'm good.
But
And
let's-
see, look, she gave me the sugar free. This is why I know. This is see. You see this?
Yeah.
This is your sermon.
Yeah.
This is my sermon.
No.
No, it was so funny, and that's what I was telling Colin this morning. We were celebrating you over breakfast,
Yeah,
and it was
yeah.
like, it's so dope to see our brother win, right? So it's like a couple weeks ago, it's real cool to see Cass next to H before he preaches.
Yeah, for sure.
Right.
For sure.
And then in the group text, we're like affirming each other, right. And then like to see Chandler,
Yeah.
to see your son, to see, and like people are like, boy. So
Yeah,
like
for
me
sure.
and Colin were talking this morning. It's like, man, it's so dope to
Yeah.
like not be by yourself in those moments. So what I told Colin this morning, I was like, yo, what more can a man want? Like being in your purpose. And then having your spouse next to you,
Yeah.
and then having your boys
That's right.
that are like bagging with you,
100%.
supporting you, et cetera, et cetera.
100%.
So how was that part? Not the preaching part, but like the whole like.
Yeah, no, I think that's good. I think, so to bring a little context to that, so my background, about 18 years full-time ministry, is about 15 years in the missional side.
Okay.
And then I did about 5 years doing citywide gatherings, which our church was a part of the one in LA, doing different cities. But in that transition, when the Lord started speaking to my wife and I about having planted church, doing all that stuff, we just brought it to the Lord and put it before the Lord. And so why I'm saying all that is that one of the questions, a good friend of mine, he runs G's Culture. He's lead pastor, Banning Liebscher. He had mentioned something to me a few years ago, because I was talking with him about what we're sensing and asking his advice, because they went from Bethel Church up, and then G's Culture was their youth group, became a movement, and then they planted a church. So he understood and became friends with us. And he asked me the question, he goes, you need to find your tribe. Because I feel like in that time we were looking and searching for who our people were.
Okay.
We had our people with circle riders and still do, but we were in a different season. The Lord had moved us on. And so to your question, I feel like it just felt blessed, like being here, such peace, doing the residency, and then just feeling like we got our tribe here. We got our squad. We got our people. And I think that is like that encouragement is huge, right? To have your spouse and then you have the homies just say like, man, that was incredible. And I think what happens is a lot of times people don't say those things because they think, oh, they're already encouraged. Well, the least encouraged people on the planet are leaders.
Yeah.
That's just true.
Bro,
Yeah.
I was just sharing that with Daniel, our worship leader.
Yeah.
Because I walked by him and I told him, hey, man, the way you transition that what you were singing going into that third song,
Yeah.
I said that was genius. And I
Yeah.
just want to make sure you know that.
So good.
And he was like, really? He was like, thank you. Because when we were talking, we are like, hey, like Stephen Curry, dope at making 3-point shots.
Yeah, for
But now
sure.
it's the expectation.
Yeah. for
So
sure.
now when you make a 3-point shot, it's like,
Yeah.
now you have to do a buzzer beater. Now
Right.
it has to be half court.
Right.
Now it has to be for game 7. Right.
Right.
Like it's just
Right.
for it to be affirmation, because once a leader gets good at something,
Yeah.
then it's like,
Yeah.
oh, all right.
100%.
But then like the homies know, like, yo, there's prep.
Yeah,
There's
for sure.
warfare.
For
This
sure.
is hard. This is tough. So
Yeah.
like, you know, everybody getting their turn type thing
Yeah.
is a vibe. Well, how would you describe to our guests? Because like people that are listening may be like, well, yeah, I'm in my purpose, but I don't have my tribe. Because you were talking about
For
in the
sure,
season
for
where it's
sure.
like you didn't have a tribe.
For sure.
How does somebody find their tribe?
Yeah, you know the meme that it says the true miracle of Jesus was having 12 close friends in his 30s. Have you seen that meme?
No.
It's so funny. We should pull
Okay.
it if we can on the thing or whatever. And I think that why is it always okay? Because I'm 35. I'll be 36 in March.
Okay.
Everyone could buy me a gift. That's fine. I'll put my no, just kidding. I think that it's always it's a real struggle to like, as you get into your life, find people that you can rock with and trust.
Okay.
But I think you have to open yourself up to you have to open yourself enough up to being able to be hurt. Meaning,
Okay.
it doesn't mean we're trusting everyone. Even the Bible says about Jesus, he didn't entrust himself to everyone because he knew it was in humanity, but he did have his people.
Yeah.
So in the same way, I think that there are moments and seasons where the Lord does lead us into the wilderness, right?
Okay.
And leads us into a place of depending on him, but we don't have to stay there.
Yeah.
And I was just talking to a friend of mine, a real close friend of mine that has dealt with, and he just even mentioned to me, he said, I'm just reserved. You know, I do this on myself. I pull away. And I told him, like, a line that a mentor always told me. He said, isolation is the devil's playground.
Okay.
And when we isolate ourselves, and we always say, like, oh, no one's for me, but we have to take the first step. And so my encouragement for people, like you're saying, and when they're asking,
Yeah.
I think you just have to build it. Like another friend of mine, I'll say this, I was just talking with him from Houston, Abraham Guajardo, who I did a ton of stuff. He's become a real close friend of mine, pastoring, just planting to Eden. He's from Houston, married his wife. I think they were up in Dallas for a bit, came back down. I say all this is that they just said, we want to build what we need. Mm-hmm. And they just decided to build, and 10 years later, they have that. Mm-hmm. And I just think, like, my encouragement would be, if it's not there, why don't you build it? Mm-hmm. If you don't have a group of friends, why don't you be that friend and start to initiate? And just put your head down, and in 5 years, you're going to see it happen.
Yeah. Yeah. So then how do you wrestle? Because you talked about wilderness, but then the danger of isolation. And we know, like, as leaders, there's times where leaders can feel lonely. So how do we wrestle staying out of isolation, but knowing that sometimes as a leader, I'm going to make some calls, and it seems like it's lonely at this time?
Yeah. What do you think, H?
That's a good one.
Yeah.
As I sip my mocha frap.
Yeah.
Yeah. When you were speaking, I mean, isolation leads to destruction, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
When it comes to leadership, but to talk about the model Jesus reflected with the amount of time that he had with Jesus, with God the Father, is so necessary in order for someone to get out of the isolation. If I'm not getting close with the Father, right? If I'm not in my word, if I'm not praying, if I'm not in my prayer, in my closet, just connecting to God in that sense, I think it kind of puts us in a place to receive those moments and not receive those moments.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So I'm saying I can't require friendship if I'm not doing that with God.
Yeah.
I can't require community if I'm not doing that with God. I can't require to go deep with other people if I'm not going deep with God.
Yeah.
So I would say for me, I'd always start there. My relationship with God first. Is that intact? Is that right? Is that good? Is that going? And from there, just over the years, I think you build trust by time and moments of being authentic, being real, being genuine with the friends you have. I look back at all the friendships I had. Probably had a good solid 5, and from that 5 is just one left, and that one left was because we were open and authentic. We didn't. We didn't stray away from like, hey, I'm in my season of isolation. We kept in contact. We kept in communication. So I think it's twofold, right? Right with God and right with people.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, what would you say?
I've learned this the hard way. The length of relationship doesn't equal depth of relationship.
Yeah, for sure. 100%.
So sometimes, like, I've tried to hold on to relationships because, man, you've been my boy since elementary school.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, we were in junior high together. So I think, who do you share values with?
Yeah.
That's good.
Because, like, whoever you share values with, then it's not going to be instant, but I think it'll be more organic that then if we're married, our wives will click.
Yeah.
If our kids intermingle, then we kind of raise our kids, not exactly the same way, but again, it just goes to values.
Yeah, for sure.
And I think for any leader, going off what you say, when you have a healthy relationship with God, and you're trying to walk this Christian life with Jesus, a part of your life is suffering through relationships.
Yeah.
Because Jesus suffered through relationships in his family, with his disciples, with the Pharisees, but he didn't allow that to stop him from serving and from being in his purpose.
Yeah.
And being that he didn't give up on them, look at now how the disciples like changed the world in the book of Acts type thing. So there's a suffering in relationships I think we try to avoid.
Yeah, for sure.
So then we're not open and authentic. But I think it takes friction, it takes fighting, it takes being misunderstood to really know what comes out of us when we're offended. So like we have a lot, and I think in a Christian space is weird because like you come to church and it's like we're family. Hey brother, hey sister, and so forth. And yes, that's biblical, that's dope. But that doesn't mean I trust you.
Yeah, for sure.
That means I'm gonna give you the love of Christ.
Yep.
Yeah.
That doesn't equal chemistry. That doesn't equal I like you. That doesn't equal let's hang up. But what that equals is if you have a need and I have the means for that, let me be a good neighbor.
Yeah,
That's
for
how I
sure.
love God, love neighbor type thing.
Yeah.
But I think as Christians, sometimes if we're not in a tribe and we want to get in the tribe, then it's like, hey, add me to that tribe.
Yeah.
And it's like, whoa, there's like 8 to 15 years developed of weeping, tears,
sure.
fighting, victories, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Now it can happen organic, but it's just not. It just doesn't happen all the time like people expect it to.
So true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's so true. Yeah, I just think that. I also think like even as you guys are talking, relationships are seasonal as well,
Okay.
and meaning there are probably in the end of the day, there's only going to be a handful of friends that are potentially lifelong friends.
Yeah.
And sometimes God brings us into each other's lives for a season.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean that we won't have connection with them, but really enjoying in the season that we're there. One of my mentors mentioned something. He said, we're going to look back 10 years and see that we were in the midst of like a move of God. And so it's always easy for us to think like where we're at now, whether good or bad, will last forever. And it doesn't. Things evolve and change, right? And so I think just being appreciative for where we're at. So in our group of friends, man, so grateful. It doesn't mean that we're like waiting for someone to leave, but we're also okay. Hey, it's all right when people come and go.
For sure.
And I think when people, like in older systems, right, especially in the ministry context, we have this saying where we say, or current saying where we say, we want to be releasing without abandoning, and we want to cover without controlling, right? We want to cover you without controlling you. We want to release you without abandoning you.
Okay.
And I think before, sometimes when you get something so good, right? So like a great friend or a great person like H, and then it's like, I don't want to let this guy go because what if he leaves and someone that can't fill his void.
For sure.
But then if we trust in the Lord with the people that He entrusts into us,
Yeah.
God will continue to kind of rebuild. Does that make sense? So I think we
Yeah.
do, I think we do that also with friendships where we're like, oh, I don't want to let this go, or I don't want to let this season go. But we just say, no, God, thank you for this moment. It's like, again, another example would be like, my daughter's is 2.5. It'd be like trying to relate to her when she's 12, still as a 2.5-year-old. No, like she's evolving, same person, but enjoy each of the seasons that the Lord brings.
For sure. My grandmother always taught me, if somebody wants to leave, help them pack.
Yeah, that's cool.
But not on some petty stuff. Oh, you
Right.
want to go? Then let me.
Yeah.
Not on that. But just more of like transitions are very important. So like serve people on the way out of
Yeah.
your life.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so like she taught me that as a kid, and I would learn to apply that as a campus pastor in Pomona.
Yeah,
Where people will come for a season and then dip.
right.
And then like when people leave your life unexpectedly, how do you celebrate that?
Right.
Well, you already have to have a perspective that some relationships are seasonal. But if we think that every single relationship is till the wheels fall off, we're
Right,
gonna go to
right,
the
right,
sunset
right.
together, then we're just setting ourselves up for disappointment.
100%.
Yeah.
But like you talked about like how we develop. So last night I'm taking Trinity home, and she's cheering right now. She's 12 years old. She has her cheer squad, and like she was like, "Yeah, I have 7 best friends, but then my super best friends are these 2." Right? So she has these ranks of best friends.
Oh, yeah.
And as a dad, I'm just letting her talk it out. But right now, but what's going on? The reason why she called these 2 her super best friends is because they do cheer together. And I think sometimes when we go into adulthood, we don't unlearn that. So like, okay, you're my college buddy. So then we don't connect the fact that like, wait, our connection was college.
Yeah.
The college memories,
Right.
what we did then, and how we just still know each other, but our lives kind of went
Yep.
this way.
Yep.
Our values aren't the same.
Right.
So it's like when we get married or have kids or have parties, it's like I want to invite the friend. Well, who are my friends? Like
Yeah.
who's my core?
Yeah.
So like what I've always told my daughter Eileen, who's my adult daughter, is like, hey, if your best news comes true, your dream comes true, who's the short list of people that you're calling?
Right. That's good.
If you're in a crisis, you get in a car accident, who's the list of people you're calling? If you need advice because you're fighting with your husband, who's the list of people you're calling? Those are your friends.
Yeah, that's good.
Now, what happens is we get advice and invites from people that are not on that list.
Yeah.
And since we're Christians, we try to be nice.
Right.
And it's like, what's appropriate? And then now social media, anybody can comment on my family outing, not just the people that were at my family outing, right? So
Yeah.
it just really kind of confuses what real relationships are.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good. I was thinking of, I love that line from your grandma, though. Help him pack. I'm going to say that. I'm going to say
Have you
that.
had to help somebody pack
Oh,
before?
I help him pack, but in a savage way. You leave. Get out of here, But then the
got
Lord
so-
says, hold on. All right.
You got some crazy missionary stories when you had to help somebody pack or what?
Oh, man. I mean, I got some crazy missionary stories. How crazy are we trying to get into it? Is this
Beyond the
question?
Letter is like a PG-13 / going towards rated R. So
Okay. Man, what is... Okay, you want to hear a funny story?
just make sure the people hear you. There you go. There you go.
Yeah. You want to hear a funny story? Okay. 2 stories that come to mind.
Okay.
Not even packing, but I just mentioned the story. So my first missionary trip. I did missions all growing up. Lived actually in Eastern Europe and Romania with my family, 2 older sisters. I was 5 at the time.
Tight.
For a few months. I was born in '89, so it was a few years after the wall of, the wall of
Berlin Wall.
communism. What?
The Berlin Wall.
The Berlin Wall, came down with communism, and so their bread lines were still happening. So did that, lived in the Dominican Republic, all this stuff. This is when I was 17. I called myself a WCBC, with Christ but compromising. You know what I'm talking about? Christian. And I was like, I love Jesus, but I also love to party. Like it kind of like that. So I was going to move down to LA and down here to do college. My sister, I have two older sisters, my middle sister was going to live with her. Reason was she was a little older, had beautiful friends, and so I was like going to go to college, and I was just going to enjoy, and my goal was business and doing all that. God got a hold of my life in the summer in a beautiful way, and I was going to do a gap year. That gap year turned into 18 years later, I'm still in full-time ministry. But here's the fun story.
That's crazy.
Right? Here's the fun story. The fun story is I was in Cambodia. And in Cambodia, in my first time to go teach, and I'm 17 years old at the time, right? Mm-hmm. There's crazy parties going on in the sense of like marriage festivals are like 4 or 5 days long. Mm-hmm. And it's up till like 4 or 5 in the morning. And I'm almost having them pack, you know what I mean? So that's crazy. Taking like 10 showers because it's so hot. But some of my first teaching, so I'm teaching English to students, right?
Yeah.
And then I'm also teaching English to Buddhist monks, okay? Wow. In a temple, right? So I'm in a temple teaching English to Buddhist monks. Now, these guys are monks at the time because they want an education. A lot of them aren't lifelong, you know, Buddhist monks kind of guys. They want an education and then they want to go do other things.
Yeah.
So my leader at the time, I'm 17. I'm the only guy on the team. There's like 4 or 5. It's a really small school. And he takes half the monks. I take the other half of the monks. I'm 17. And the main topic he wants us to talk about is like, why don't we talk about sex? And I'm 17 with these Buddhist monks who are supposed to not even. And I'm like, what moment did I just enter into here? I just ended up preaching the gospel to them, you know what I mean? But I was like, I'm 17. I'm in a Buddhist temple. So it's very, very
That's
strange.
funny.
So I was trying to help them pack and help them in a different way. I'm going to unpack that later. I said, ask this guy. But the crazy thing, I'm like, why are you asking me to talk about this? I'm 17. I'm single. No, we're going to talk about...
Because he knew you were partying.
I know.
You said you love Jesus.
Yeah. But the thing is, it just was... I couldn't believe it. I still flash back to those moments. And then another guy, there's a lot of crazy stories, but it is fun. I encourage people to go international, but definitely don't tell young people to teach on that stuff. And I connected with that guy later, but the cool thing was at the end of that was really awkward, but at the end of our month or 4 or 5 weeks there, got to preach the gospel, and 1 or 2 of them gave their life to Jesus, gave them a Bible and all that stuff. So it was really cool to see kind of those moments.
Awesome.
But
H, you been on a mission trip?
I have, yes. Inner city.
Oh, okay.
Jacksonville, Florida. So I spent 3.5 years in Jacksonville, Florida. So talking about stories, one interesting story is we our mission was to go to local parks and just set up camp, you know, in the local neighborhood. So we get out to this park in Jacksonville, Florida, and we're setting up. We're playing basketball. We got the challenge circle. You know, we have, you know, football, basketball, volleyball, all that. And we hear gunshots.
Boy.
Everyone that was on the mission trip ducked. Everyone that was from Jacksonville kept playing. And the gunshots was like across the street. And we're like, oh yeah, it's normal. It's okay. Keep going. And it was the year they had the most homicides. This was like 11 or 2010 or something like that. Yeah. 3.5 years living there.
Bro, I remember I did a mission trip with my daughter. We went to Haiti. Okay. So we would pull up and like we would play soccer with the kids, but the kids would be like barefoot and it'd be like pebbles and rocks, but they were like so much better than us. Like they had all the moves and everything like that. But then like the village would come out, and then like some of the moms would bring out their babies. So then everyone's like, oh, look at the baby. All right. So then like I'm all in. I'm like, oh, can I hold your baby? So like I'm holding the baby. And then I'm like, oh man, I'm a good Christian. This is really good, right? Then I recognize, man, this baby don't have no diaper on.
Oh. No.
This baby's just like butt naked.
Oh, just rolling.
Like you just in the moment in another country, and then I'm like,
just rolling.
This is a ticking time bomb.
Yeah.
Like, what's my exit strategy? Like, what do I do here? Yeah, you're just in a different world. But I do recommend, if people are able to either go on a mission trip, but just get out of the country, because God is global.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. Like there is a global perspective people can have. Like I didn't know, because when I was in Haiti, they had village champions. So we would collaborate with the village champions, and the village champions will be with the people.
Yeah.
And so I'm talking to the village champion, and I'm like, hey, tell me a little bit about your story, blah, blah, blah. He's in his 20s. He was like, man, I'm hoping to raise enough money that next year I can do my junior year in high school.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what?
Right.
Right. And he has like so much more joy than me. Like he was playing the guitar for the worship nights and everything like that. And I looked down at his shoes. Yeah, holes all over his shoes. And I'm like, I'm going to give this guy my shoes. But I want to have dignity. I don't want to just like offer him shoes and they be the wrong size or whatever. So I was like, hey, man, what size shoes do you wear? He was like, men's. And I was like, oh.
Yeah.
Like, so like just that type
he said,
of
I'll
like,
make it work. Yeah.
Yeah. And like, these are like core memories for me now. Just like, man, because the reason why I'm making the core memory, not his situation, his joy.
Right. Yep.
Yeah.
Like, so then I just analyze my life and how quickly I
Totally.
can complain or how quickly think like, and it's
Oh,
like,
yeah.
why am I complaining about this
100%.
when?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
true because global statistics say if you have a roof over your head, plate, meal to eat, you're richer than 93% of the world's population. And if you have one pair of shoes, you're richer than 75% of the world's population.
It's true.
So it just shows you, how much we got to get here. Yeah.
It's true. Yeah, and I think it's super crucial because I've had because like I said, my background missions, 30 plus nations, travel in almost every state.
Okay.
But international travel allows, especially to developing nations, it allows a global, in any nation, but it allows a global perspective to really be able to have gratitude because like you just said, been in so many different places where there's extreme poverty, but there's extreme joy.
Yeah.
And then you're asking yourself, man, why do I have extreme wealth, but I'm extremely lonely or extremely depressed? Because it's not based off of what we have. It's who we have. It's Jesus. But then it's even beyond those things. And it really allows us to have just an understanding. And it's also good for the Western world and America when you go to other places. Let's say you go to London. Let's say you go to out in Nigeria. Let's say you go out in Fiji, all these other places, Philippines, wherever you want to say. That not every place is thinking of us, and that's super helpful too.
Yes.
Because a lot of times, like we think, and we are for ourselves, for America, we're the center, everything's happening. You go all over, we realize there's a lot going on, and it's helpful for us to have that global perspective.
Yeah, that's good.
100%. Like, and I think that goes back to relationships and diversity in relationships because we're not all the same skin color, but we share the same values. But being that we have different stories, we can help each other to have more of a cultural awareness, which is another benefit of like having a tribe, but also being open to like having a tribe of people that don't necessarily look like you.
100%.
Yeah, like I get challenged on like, looking at my kitchen table and seeing like how do my daughters experience who we're around, like who's invited to our house, who's in close proximity, trying to stay safe with my girls, but also like to open up their perspective.
That's good.
But that's what makes church so amazing.
So true.
Yeah, that's good.
Because going to church, one week they can have an Asian teacher, a white teacher, a black teacher, et cetera, and white kids, black kids, Hispanic kids, whatever kid, like, and in a multicultural setting, that just becomes normal to them. Yeah. But then they rub shoulders with different people's perspectives.
So good.
Yeah. Trinity was Trinity, and it's crazy because like my girls are getting older, so Faith's now a teenager. Trinity thinks she runs the house. So it's like the conversations are getting different. So like Trinity's like, Dad, let's sit down. Who'd you vote for? Right?
They're shooting you straight. Like not even buttering you up. You're like, dang, just straight up like that.
So like Trinity, this is my 12-year Trinity. Can you handle that?
Yeah.
She says, well, I need to know because one of my friends said, hey, if this person gets in office, we're moving to Texas, and then are we moving? So this stuff is being talked about at school.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
So it's like trying to navigate, like, I want to have these conversations, but they have to be confidential. They have to be like,
Yeah.
and it's hard to navigate that. And that's why like every time, not every time, but I often see H's daughters. His daughters are beautiful, but I'm seeing him spending time with his daughters, and I'm like, dude, Faith in Trinity was that age yesterday.
Crazy.
Yeah, because I'm sure your daughters aren't asking you who you voted for yet, are they?
No, not yet. they're still in the Elsa.
Yeah, that's a good phase, right?
Keep them there for as long as I can.
What's fun for your daughters? Like, what does that quality time look like?
Quality time is coloring, believe it or not.
Yeah.
So I'll get home and get the coloring books out, and we'll just color and just laugh, and then we'll play Frozen Fever, their favorite song right now. Yeah. So, and then I'll just I'll do a workout with them.
You're making them do burpees?
Yes.
No way.
So I'll make them do 10 push-ups, 10 jumping jacks, 10 sit-ups, and 10 burpees. Yeah. So we'll be, I'll be laying down. Hey, let's go to work, and you'll just see their little legs go up, and down, up.
Man, that is actually awesome though, because they love that quality time with dad.
They're doing it because dad looks cool doing it, so
Yeah.
they're gonna have fun doing it. Yeah.
So fun. That's so fun.
Is Pippa working out?
She works out with Chandler. Chandler's doing
Oh,
her.
really?
Yeah, kind of. She like jumps on it. So Chandler right now, she's doing the T25. You know those
Oh
different.
yeah,
What's that?
Yeah, that's tough, bro.
It's T25 is kind of like it's like 25 days of like it's hit workouts, high intensity.
okay.
What's the other high intensity something training? Interval.
Yeah.
High intensity interval
Yeah.
training. And so she'll do that, but then Pippa would just jump on her back because she's doing it right now at the house. That's why we got to buy the Peloton, which we talked about, and having those things. But she's doing that. Chandler's always been into like fitness and running. I think we talked about that too.
Yeah,
She
yeah.
loves to run. So, but Pippa's wild too. Pippa's wild. She loves Frozen. Loves Moana. Moana's her favorite movie right now. She's rolling on it. But it is so fun. Like you said, you were talking about your girls were his age, right? And now they're where they're at now. Just how quickly that time flies, like that moment. And I feel like it's not fleeting in a bad way, but just taking the opportunity to enjoy it, right? So like even for right now, we're at 2.5 and 3 months, almost 4 months. So last night, Maverick is going through a little bit of a regression. Our son, not bad, but like waking him 2 or 3, 4 times. And then Pippa came in our
Hence
bed.
the Red Bull.
Yes, thank you. And then Pippa came in our bed at like 2 this morning. And obviously, if you ever had a 2-year-old in your bed for a little bit, they're kicking, and you get feet to the back. Oh my goodness, like what's happening? But you also think like even though at times it is tough and you're losing sleep, you're like, man, you're gonna blink and they're gonna be teenagers.
Yeah.
And it's interesting you say that because like when you said coloring, one of the things me, Faith, and Trinity would do anytime we go to a restaurant, can we get 3 kids menus? And we do the crossword puzzle, we color and everything like that. And that was just so awesome. And now they're like growing out of that, right? And then like,
And you're like,
our thing.
You're like, do you want color?
Yeah. For one, please.
I'll do it.
So I remember the like me and my girls, our jam for years was going to the park. So I remember when I lost my job, 2014, 15, I would take my girls to this pond and we would feed the ducks. Going from there, it was going to the park. So that just became like our safe haven. I want to go to the park. Yeah, we go to the park, So like the first time, Faith's on her tablet, and I'm like, hey, you want to go to the park? She don't even look up. She was like, nah.
You're like,
And I'm sitting here like,
Inside out, that core memory just.
inside out. Yeah.
yes, sadness.
That's right, sadness.
And then like I'm thinking like I can like grieve or mourn the past, or I can just get adjusted to what my daughter's into now.
That's good.
And I think that's the thing about seasons. So it's like, what are my girls into now? Now they're easing out of this again now, but they were heavily in the Roblox. So I just want to spend time with my girls. So then I'm like, hey, what do you want to do? Well, Dad, you want to play Roblox with me? Yeah. So like I'm downloading Roblox, and then they're playing this game where you have 5 minutes and you dress up a model, and then you do a runway show.
Oh wow.
Oh wow. Yeah.
So
Crazy.
I'm sitting there like, what?
Yeah,
Right? And I was like,
yeah.
wait, is there a male one? Yeah, there's a male one.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. All right.
so I'm putting my outfits together, and then like we're rating each other. We're like, yeah. So I'm looking at my girls. They have the same engagement, but it's taking me a while to get caught up to the fact that this ain't quality time. This is, but for them it is. It's a win is a win.
Yeah.
You know, a win's a win. So it's like just staying in tune to like, what do my girls and I would just say outside of that, because I think it goes back again to relationships.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say too.
Yeah,
the
because
friendships. Yeah.
Yeah, because like people change, bro. Like and as people change, especially for men, we need different things in different seasons. I think we were talking about that offline earlier. So it's just like I can try to put my daughters into a box and just I celebrate. And I think some parents do that with sports.
Yeah, for sure.
So I'll give an example for today. Like Faith stayed up till midnight last night doing homework because she's playing softball and they made the playoffs, but her new softball league started. So she does a game and practice the same day, right?
Yeah.
Wow.
But like one of the things she's locked in about is homework. She like, it's a value for her. She loves school. So this morning, I'm like, hey, you got a game today, and then you got practice from 7 to 9. She's like, I know, and I got so much homework. And I was like, well, what would you prefer? What do you want to do? She was like, I want to play in my game, but I want to do my homework and miss practice. Okay, text mom. So then I say, hey, Trinity, if it was up to you, because, Trinity, she's, right? Hey, Trinity, if it was up to you, would you go to school? She was like, on Mondays and Fridays. I said, why? She was like, because I need a break. She was like, there's all this math and all this. Like, why are we doing all this?
That's funny.
It's a waste of time.
It's so funny.
So I'm just learning
That's
my
so
daughters. So just asking them questions with no judgment to see where they're at.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good advice.
That's
What-
so funny.
What grade are your kids in now?
Kailani's in kindergarten, and then Alana's in pre-K.
Dude, so there's going to be a season then where your wife may be your daughter's teachers.
Yeah, that's true.
That's going to be wild. Because I be seeing softball coaches that the daughters on the team and stuff like that. Like,
Yeah.
that's. Could you coach your daughters?
Probably not.
Like, because let's say they get passionate about basketball because you're a basketball coach. So
I wouldn't. Yeah, I wouldn't coach. Yeah.
Why not?
I'd rather be that father that goes to the game, support my daughter, let the coach do his thing, and just be that supportive dad. But then have private trainings. At home.
Making the goats. You're like, I'm a
Right, layup drills, the push-ups.
So I was a blended family in my rookie season of parenting. Okay, so Eileen is 12 years old. Me and Erica probably married a year and change. And she was like, Dad, I've never played basketball. I want to try out for the team. So like, I'm trying to be super dad. I'm like, let's go. We lived in San Diego, right? So I buy her a basketball. I get a whistle. I get a clipboard.
Yeah, you went in.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Now, mind you, she's never played basketball before.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so tough.
We go to the gym. I mean, no, we were at outside courts. I blindfold her.
No.
I'm telling you.
You went
some Coach Carter.
No, he went Mr. Miyagi.
Bro, I blindfolded her. She'll tell you this. All right, now dribble. Elbow. No, you got to get ready. You got to. And to this day, she's like, Dad, why did you do that? Basketball's nothing like this. Yeah, right.
Oh, that's funny.
It's just like excited as a dad.
Yeah, for sure.
Wanted to like just help or whatever. And I just took it to the extreme.
Yeah, that's so funny.
So H, your daughter's playing basketball. You're not the coach, you're the dad, you're cheering her on. But the coach is chewing her out. Sit down. Go to the bench. I told you to.
Let him coach.
Okay.
Yep.
Not me.
Let him coach.
I'm throwing some hands.
Okay.
No.
Yeah.
Well, if the coach was saying in a disrespectful way, I'll have a conversation with the coach.
Okay.
But if he's coaching the coach,
Okay.
I'm gonna let the coaches coach, the players play, the rest, or the parents. I'm gonna be a parent. I'm not gonna get in between the coach and player, because I've been that coach.
Yeah.
You know, and parents over here telling you, play my kid.
Oh, yeah.
My kid deserves to be in there.
Yeah.
Why are you pointing fingers at him? I'm like,
Yeah.
let me coach.
Yeah.
So I'd rather be, because, you know, the problem with sports is that you're seeing a lot of kids who are entitled.
Yep.
And I know a lot of players that are elite players playing at different schools because they're not coachable.
Okay.
Yeah.
And they're never going to make it to the league.
Right.
You got, or even D1 basketball. You
Yeah.
have to be able to be coachable. Yeah. So I want to teach her, like, hey, listen to your coach. Coach knows right and wrong. Now, if he gets out of line, then dad will step in and have a conversation with the coach later.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I would do that.
Yeah. But that's the beauty of, I think, team sports, beauty and, like, the pain. So, like, my wife, she did traveling soccer. So her dad played college soccer.
Nice.
And then she played soccer all growing up. But in that traveling soccer, she's in Oklahoma. So all the traveling teams, it's really political in a lot of those sports too, right? Not just soccer, but basketball, AAU, whatever.
Yeah.
You got the talented people, but then you got like the coach's sons or kids or daughter. And then you got the kids that the parents have a lot of money. They donate a lot, so they get time to play,
Yeah.
you know. But what I do love about sports and team sports is it is a great indicator for people that there's always going to be someone faster.
Yes.
There's always going to be someone better. How are you going to deal with it? And that's why I love it. Again, I mean, one of my top 5 strength finders is competition. So I love competition.
Yeah.
But I think that there is a way to be healthy in your competition. And how are you going to react in a win? And how are you going to react in a loss?
Yeah.
And I even love that. Again, I don't know. Some of us may have watched the college football like national championship, Ohio State versus Notre Dame, and both sides. Well, one, God was moving in Ohio State in a beautiful way. I mean, each players are baptizing other players, getting saved. You hear it all the time. They just like thank Jesus. And the same thing with Notre Dame. And that's what I love, though. Like, you see the highest of highs and the lowest of lows. How are you going to act in each moment? And so to me, that's why I think that there's a lot of people out there that never played team sports, and you could tell. You know what I mean?
And I think sometimes I've been to games and then Trinity's cheer events.
Yeah.
Where the kids demonstrate more self-control than the parents.
100%.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, so it's like the parent is like going hard and going ham. But the kid is like fine, but then when he sees that, then he thinks or she thinks they have to, right?
Or the kid is embarrassed at their parents because of what they're doing. And a lot of times in those places, it's like the parents are either one, living vicariously through their own kids, so they're putting that pressure, right?
Yeah.
Or two, they just need the hand of God and a little bit of deliverance. And that's true about the kids. It's like if it's a good coach, like I like what H said, if it's a good coach and they're just giving feedback, then leave it. But if it's in a disrespectful thing, and then I think we talked about this offline on coaching, and again, this all ties into relationships. I was talking about Coach Wooden and how he would relate to each player differently.
For sure.
Coach Wooden was a basketball coach, one of the greatest coaches in the 20th century, and he would say he coached Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and he coached Bill Walton, both big men, centers. UCLA won 10 national championships in a row, which is crazy, unheard of still to this day. He said with Kareem, if you yelled at him, got in his face, shook him in practice, it would shut him down.
Yeah.
So he had to relate to Kareem in a certain way. And then to Bill Walton, he said he could shake him and like hit him and bump him and it would turn him up. And I feel like that's the uniqueness even in both parenting. Also, that's why I love coaching, because it allows you to really want to discover your players. And to me, my affinity, and I love coaching, my affinity for coaching, not just like sports, but people, is because you get to discover what makes each person tick. And it's not like a cookie cutter Ford dealership. We're cutting each car. No, it's like, how does this person relate? And then I want to use that. And that's what Coach Wooden was the best at. So.
Yeah. There's an acronym I love. It's COACH, right? COACH. Connect, observe, affirm, correct, help. And that's a solid coach.
Yeah, for sure.
A coach
Say that one more time.
A coach that connects, a coach that observes, a coach that affirms, a coach that corrects, and a coach that helps.
It's good.
Yeah.
If they have those qualities, he's a good coach.
Yeah, for sure.
And I love that it's connect before correct.
Yeah.
Just because you're the coach doesn't mean you just correct.
Yeah, for sure.
Right? But when you were saying that, I was thinking about faith in Trinity.
Yeah,
They're like the
right.
opposite and they're in junior high, and junior high is just weird. Like it's like
What are the grades again?
So 6th and 8th.
6th and 8th.
So
okay.
Trinity, she has her cheer practice right now.
Yeah.
And I passed her on the way to the studio, and then it's like I want to be a cool dad, but I don't want to get in her space.
Right.
You know, so like she's in the middle of practice, so then she sees me from a distance, so I start going. right. So I started like right, and then like she ran full speed and gave me a hug.
So sweet.
So that was awesome.
Yeah.
So then I ran and I just got in the cheer line, and then
Right,
the coach
right.
started laughing and everything
Yeah,
like
for
that.
sure.
But I never know what I'm gonna get because like sometimes it's like.
Yeah, for sure. Right.
But for Faith, if you really get in her words mean a lot to Faith.
Mm-hmm.
So there was one time that I was picking up Faith from practice, and she was just like down. And I was like, "Hey, what's wrong? You didn't do good." She was like, and she started tearing. Well, the coach got on me because I forgot what it was, but like the coach got in her face about it, and I was like, "Hey, do you feel disrespected by the coach? Do you need me to talk to the coach, or what is it? Did you mess up? Did you?" Yeah, but I didn't want to let him down. So like just having like that conversation and that dialogue.
Yeah.
So hey, if a man disrespects you, tell me and I'll tell you.
For sure.
And at the same token, this is a part of the sports experience.
Right.
You're gonna mess up.
Right.
Yeah.
And then the coach that sees it in practice, this tough moment is gonna help you more in the game.
So good.
Which is so powerful that she doesn't have to use in softball. She could use that bouncing back from a test, bouncing back from anything in life, because
100%.
life doesn't always give you the results that you want. So
100%.
So I am grateful for coaches that get in our face,
Yeah,
but
for
also
sure.
like connect
Yeah.
before they
It's beautiful.
correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah. So I think we should do like and now what I was thinking about, like, because right now we're doing a fantasy basketball league.
Yeah.
So I was thinking
This
I was
crazy
thinking
trade,
about-
but we won't even talk about it because I was like, dang. But moving on. Crazy trade.
Oh, did you see
I
that?
saw all the trades. I'm like, all right. My money's on H to win it all. Let's just say that.
But I was thinking like we should do like a basketball tournament. Because Sammy says he hoops,
I do. Yeah.
but I haven't seen him hoop.
Tell him pull up Pomona.
That's what I told him.
I know.
If he don't pull up, we know he ain't.
I want to. It's just so
Today's
far.
Today's Thursday.
It's just so
Hey,
far.
that's-
It's so far.
Yo, good players don't make excuses.
Yeah, that's true. But I said we should play here because it's right here. We got a
Well,
court right
we're gonna
here.
open up Saturday basketball. 8:30.
That would be fun.
8:30.
Wait, so are you thinking maybe
here in Rancho?
Rancho.
Hey, are you thinking maybe like we do a 3-on-3?
Yeah.
A 3-on-3 could be pretty fire.
3-on-3, 5-on-5. We'll have enough players.
No, we could play 5-5. I'm saying if we were doing a tournament, we could do a
We did
3-on-3
like a
tournament.
tournament.
If we did like a tournament, like I'm talking about like bantering with the homies.
Yeah, I
like
would love that. That'd be super
like
fun.
We could just see, like
Yeah.
get a 3-point shootout, do it like
Yeah,
a whole
I
situation.
got to stretch as long as I'm playing now these days. I got 2 ankle braces, but
No, you described it like, hey, I can hoop.
yeah, I do. I love it. I play basketball. So basketball is my primary sport ever since growing up, about like 4 or 5 years old, all the way till I'll still play, but golf has taken over a lot more. But I enjoy it. Like basketball is the first love. So I'll
That's
play.
when we first met at the golf course.
Yeah.
Years ago. That was during COVID.
Yep.
He was locked in.
Yeah. It was you, and then I forgot we played, and H is like, "No, we played." I'm like, "Are you sure?"
Oh, it was the 4 of us?
It was us. Was it us
and
four?
Adam?
And Adam, right? Or was Phil
Bro,
there?
I don't remember.
Bro,
I remember playing with you though.
Yeah,
for
we
sure.
did play.
Yeah.
We remember
What's the
that.
course? Because it's the course on hole 1. It curves over to the right.
That's
We played it there before.
That's Oka.
Oh, Glenn?
No, Oak
Quarry?
Quarry, right?
Quarry.
Isn't it?
The first
Yes,
hole, it
Oak Quarry.
curves to
dog,
the right.
Dog
Yeah.
leg right. Yep.
Yeah.
I think that's when we played.
Oh,
Wasn't
Quarry.
it?
That's where I met you. Yeah. That's
Yeah.
a hard course.
It is.
I
It
lost
is.
a box of
Difficult.
balls.
Yeah, but I mean, again, so golf has taken over, and I love it, and I enjoy it because golf is like life. But I love like. If you get a good group of guys playing basketball, I love it, especially because you could play it at, especially if it's pickup. You could arrange the teams to pick up, and we could just rumble, have a good time. But
Yeah.
We're gonna have to have
we're
like
down.
a ref or something there.
Yeah.
Because H gets pretty intense.
I can't wait. I know H is a bucket, so that's what I'm excited to see.
David was running the league, well, not the league, like open run on Thursdays, And then I was like, how's things going? He was like, yeah, man, it got intense. I said, you got to tell the guys not to get so intense. He was like, well, how do I talk to Pastor Heron?
Oh yeah, I've been around.
I'm just passionate.
I've been around a few open gyms where hands are being thrown.
Yeah, that won't ever happen.
No,
but
no.
you know,
it's for the
bring the intensity. Yeah.
I love it though. I love basketball's so fun.
Bro,
Yeah.
we started hooping in Pomona because
Yeah.
like I'm just trying to get like young guys
Yeah,
to
of
come
course.
through,
It's
right?
smart, and
people start coming through,
I mean,
but
if
it's
people
like-
haven't seen the campus, you got to check it out, and you got to see that basketball court.
Well, here's what happened. Here's what happened. So, I mean, guys, they love Jesus. They
Yeah.
can barely dribble, right? So it's like,
So you got some good hoopers that didn't know Jesus as well.
no, it was Christians that couldn't hoop,
Oh
right?
yeah.
So then like H is like, yeah, we're gonna pull up. And he pulled up with like a Space
Of
Jam
course he
squad.
did.
Like,
Of course,
they're
of
dunking
course.
on us, shooting.
Of course, D1 athletes just rolling.
Rancho versus Pomona. I said, I'm bringing my squad.
Of course, yeah, I know what that's like.
Didn't even announce the day he was coming. Just came in.
So we did that with one of this is early on. So we were in a basketball league with my circuit rider squad, and we pulled up. So I was hooping on tour with Outcry Tour when I was on there. I was on with Chad Veach, and so we pulled up on his squad.
Okay.
And I brought the A team, and we ran, we rolled. But
ran
I
them
also
up.
I had a guy on my team that was D1. I had a few hoopers,
Yeah.
and so that always helps,
We're gonna have to schedule that.
It'd be fun. I mean,
Yeah.
I can't. Who else plays?
Well, everybody claims they play.
Yeah, of
Colin
course.
claims he plays.
Of course.
Does Gabe play?
I bet you Gabe seems like a.
I mean, he on and off, but Jermaine plays.
yeah, Gabe seems like he would be down to just like
Yeah.
hustle.
Alex, do you hoop?
Andy?
Oh, Andy. I can't see you.
Yeah,
Do
we
you
just saw
hoop?
your shoes.
No.
Okay.
Okay, you
Pastor
can still pull
Adam,
up.
Pastor Adam hoops too, man. He's a lefty.
Ah.
Back in the days,
We should
I
just
don't know
do
about
it.
now. Like he can ball. He's just like Jermaine.
I think
very physical, rebounds, sets picks.
Yeah, I think
Got
we
it.
should
He
get our.
he can get on. I don't know if he'll.
We
get
should
on,
get
but
those.
We can ask him.
We should get our group chat to pull up and play. That would be fun.
We should do that.
Yeah, Saturdays.
Yeah, that would be fun.
Cool.
do it.
But
Good conversation, guys.
Yes, sir.
had
All
a
right.
blast.
Peace.
Love
Peace.
y'all.